Day 3.
Yeah, we had Doomsday 1. He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix. Most of his friends leave, of course. Praying for the safety and
on the defense, talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get your ball.
I just gotta say, when it comes to work out,
Different.
For sure, and they would have thrown it off because this guy gets off too.
Smaller from and then I go to bed every night like G man, I promise you that we got a special man, what is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. We've got all the heavy hitters. We got Kelly Canine, of course, man, partner in crime. And then we couldn't get enough of Greg on Monday. So I was like, you know what? Nice for G-Reg. G-Reg going to be here. And we're going to get this thing going, talk some Cowboys. Hopefully you guys are doing good. If you're rolling in, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. Get that out of the way so we can get rolling. We got the chat over here. So you guys, when we get that going, you guys can go talk all the shit you want. We love it. So before we get rolling, man, first of all, Greg, I've obviously you and I talked a couple days ago. How's everything going?
Good, man. Going good. I'm loving what I'm seeing in training camp.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. And Kelly, I know you're all over Twitter. I know you're feeling good. We're going to – oh, look at that. And this wasn't even planned.
I was just about to say that, man. You know, me and Mike, man, we just like so in sync that we just like
brilliant minds think alike.
Absolutely. You doing good, Kelly?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and it's good to see you, Greg. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. It's always good to chop it up with my boy Greg. And yeah, man. I mean, I see you on Facebook, man, doing your thing and living life and stuff. But it's still good to see you in person, man, and be able to get to chop it up with a good friend and a great Cowboys fan. So I'm looking forward to talking Cowboys tonight, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. At first, I shouldn't do this, but I feel obligated. I used a little profanity last night, and I think I hurt some Eagle fans' feelings. I said they were dick riding the Cowboys, and I apologize. Absolutely nothing, because that's what you guys do. You don't like it, but that's the fact. So I don't really care, Eagle fans. I know you can be hanging in the chat. You guys can kiss my ass. I got nothing to worry about. I got nothing to say, and I don't really give a shit what you guys think. But that's just the way it is. But I know, Kelly, you deal with them all the time. I've been immune to it, but I think you've started to suck me in to the vortex of these haters, Eagles especially. So I don't know what's going on, but it was fun.
Well, I mean, I like to have fun with the man. And my latest thing now, though, because, you know, I still like to get into it and I'll still troll back and forth with them and stuff. My latest thing now, though, is I got this picture, and it's an AI picture that somebody gave me or made. And it's a cockroach with an Eagles hat on it. And so now when they start talking to me, all I do is I post that picture. And then they'll say something else, and I'll post the picture. Say it, and I'll post it, and that's all I do. Is just
I watched you do it to somebody. He was getting so mad.
Oh my God! This dude had an absolute meltdown in the chat because I wouldn't respond to him, and I kept posting that same picture. Eventually, he just stopped because I posted it about 10 times. But it's hilarious to watch, because really what they do is they really want that reaction.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for when they say the things that they do. You know, when they come at you the way that they do and say insults, and, you know, I've been called a million things, Vanilla Ice, you know, a Temu Fred Durst. I mean, I've been called so many damn names I've forgotten. I can't even keep up with them anymore. And that's what they want. Is they want to get a reaction from you. And I'm trying this year to try a different approach, to where I just post that cockroach. And I'm just going to keep posting that cockroach, because that's what Philly fans are, like a bunch of cockroaches under every one of my damn posts. It don't matter what I post, man. I could post a picture of my damn dinner, and these sons of bitches are saying, your dinner looks disgusting, you know, and I'm just like, you motherfuckers ain't got nothing better to do than your life, man. I'm just glad and thankful that my life ain't that pathetic, that is all I do is go under Cowboys content creators all day long, because if you look That's what you'll see. The same Eagles fans under every content creator talking that shit, trying to get a reaction because, I guess, I don't know, maybe in their own lives they don't get enough people talking to them, not enough attention. Mommy and daddy didn't hug them enough when they were kids. I don't know, man, but I wish y'all some form of happiness in your life. You just won the goddamn Super Bowl. You think you'd have a little joy in your life, but you're still some miserable sons of bitches.
You think they'd get over it. Go ahead.
They still 3 behind. They still 3 behind. That's why they mad. That's why they mad. They're 3 behind, and they know what it takes to get them. So they know by the time they try to catch up, we'll probably move forward another 2.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Well, to piss them off even more, the reason they hate us the most is because nobody throws a tailgate party like the Cowboys Cave tailgate party. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my man Cuts by Jones. He's doing those paddles. You see him in the photos. I mean, we are going to be spanking that ass. I mean, that's the theme. That's what we're going to be doing. And so you got an opportunity to order one of those to support the tailgate if you're going. It's a great way. All proceeds go to it. You see Cuts there working the pit, man. It is going to be a phenomenal time. It is week 4, Green Bay Packers, Sunday night. I know I've had some people DMing me. A couple got a parking pass for lot 10. I said, man, come on in. Help us out because you need a car for every spot. So we're going to get a couple. But if we have anyone who's going to be there in lot 10 and got a parking pass, let us know. We'll get you up with us and make sure you're in the right spot. But it's going to be a great time. Appreciate Cuts for all the hard work. Kelly's been putting in a lot of work. I mean, it takes a village to put this together. So it isn't Mike's tailgate party. It's not Kelly's tailgate party or Greg's. It's the Cowboys Cave. And when it say Cowboys Cave, it's all the Cowboys Nation, the whole family. So it takes everybody. So we appreciate it. It's just that day to have some fun. We'll talk some shit. We're going to drink a little bit, eat a little bit, and hopefully go in there to watch the Cowboys get some revenge on these Packers.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's always a good time when we get together with everybody from the, we say Cowboys Cave, Cowboys Nation. They're synonymous. Those two go together, man. Cowboys Cave is Cowboys Nation. Cowboys Nation's Cowboys Cave, man. We get together and it's a good time. And so if you guys ain't seen them paddles, man, you got to go check them out. I mean, they're really awesome. And I'm not saying that just because, that it helps, make funds for the tailgate. But, man, Fred does really great work on all of his cuts. So even if you don't want to get a paddle, man, go check out some of the other stuff that he does because he doesn't just do cowboy stuff, man. He did and that U, he did the U with the hurt. He did one of those with you guys' mascot throwing up the U and wearing that thing was absolutely, that's a work of art, man. Absolutely. So, I mean, if you're a fan of a college team, he can do your college stuff. I got my Texas Tech right behind me here. You can see, and it's just, he does beautiful work, man. But them Cowboys Cave paddles, man, paddle the ass all year long. We were talking about it, and that's the theme, and that's the theme of the Week 4 tailgate, man. Paddle the ass on Green Bay, man. A lot of people say belt the ass. We putting paddle the ass, old school ass whooping paddle. If you want to drill some holes in that sumbitch to make it more aerodynamic, you can do that, but just customizable, baby, customizable fully. So get you one, man, because you don't want to show up to the tailgate without one because everybody's going to be getting their paddles signed, and you never know who's going to show up. It may not, you may say, what, I don't want Kelly's autograph. I don't want Mike's autograph. I don't need Greg's autograph, but you never know if a Dallas Cowboy player might show up. You might have a George Teague show up. You might have a Eugene Lockhart slide through. So if one of them guys is there, you're going to want to get their autograph. And what better way to do it than on a Cowboys Cave paddle? So go on and get your Cowboys Cave paddle and support the cause, y'all.
Yeah. Yep. And I think go ahead, Greg.
No, last year, Rowdy showed up. We won the tailgate of the day from the Dallas Cowboys. Rowdy showed up. Cowboys staff showed up. You never know who showed up, but Mike, please tell them where they can go see Cut stuff on Facebook, because if you think you've seen precision in woodwork, you ain't seen nothing till you see what Cuts delivers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Jimmy calls him the Picasso of Cowboys Nation. So he does beautiful work. So you definitely want to check it out. And like I said, he can do anything. I'll just tell one quick story about Cuts. When I met him, we always get a kick out of this story, but this was like the first year I kind of was doing hype videos. And I come out of the bathroom, and here's this guy standing there. He's got got that goatee, he's giving me that look, and I'm like, what's going on here? And he goes like, hey, man, you Mike Tag? I said, yeah. He goes, man, I'm Cuts by Jones. I follow you. I love your videos, man. Can I get a picture? So we got a picture, and a friendship was born from there. And I had him do a portrait of my kids and my wife and I. We went to the Cowboys game, first time the whole family, and he did a portrait of that photo, and I still have it in my living room. And so he could do stuff outside of your sports teams. He could do family stuff. I know he did something for Jimmy. So definitely hook up with Cuts by Jones. You see the paddles. I got them in the upper corner. You could do the Cowboys Cave. You can customize the other side. I did mine. I like to commemorate things. So I did this Dallas versus Green Bay 2025. I saw the best one. I am a little jealous. Whoever came up with that idea is they did one, and they did the triplets. They did 8-star, 22-star, and 88. I thought that was really cool on the other side of the paddle. So he can customize it to what you want. I think up to 7 letters. That's the limited.
Yeah, up to seven letters. But I mean, you can put some pretty cool stuff on there, man. I like your idea, Mike. I didn't think about your idea though. The Green Bay versus Dallas, like, that's pretty cool.
Sentimental.
I like that. No, I like that. That's what Cut said. He goes, Mike's a little sentimental, man. He likes to commemorate things and have, and I like that though, man. That's pretty dope. I'm definitely I'm gonna have to write that on there with a Sharpie. Dallas versus Green Bay, the date. Last year, man, I was drinking so much of that goddamn moonshine, I forgot to get autographs and shit, and didn't have no signatures at all. I mean, I got my Cowboys Cave. I'm looking at it right now. My Cowboys Cave. And it was a bottle opener last year, which, guys, that was pretty kick-ass, too. I've got it on my wall. Believe it or not, I actually use it. I got my Corona bottles, and right there. It's next to my fridge. Crack a bottle open. And that thing was a nice addition, too. But, man, just such a good time to get out there with everybody and just to talk football and also just to find out about a lot of people's lives. You know what I mean? People come out there and some people bring their kids out there, and you get to meet their families. And, Cooper Beebe, his whole family rolled up last year. His dad, his mom, his sisters, his brothers, like he had his whole crew roll up. And I got confirmation from Mr. Beebe himself. He will be at this tailgate again this year. He will be rolling up and bringing the squad with him. And they were taking shots of moonshine. It was a thing of beauty. So look, it's just a fun time, man, to just bond with our brothers and sisters in Cowboys Nation, man. And I'm so excited. I mean, literally so excited. I got a countdown on my damn calendar to this date. That's how excited I am. So
Ellie and I are so excited. We're flying in on Friday. We're not even.
Yeah, we're premature tailgating. Premature tailgating.
And Cuts. I know. Every time I order something from you, Cuts say, Greg, you ain't got no more room to put nothing on your wall out there. But Cuts, I got room for the paddle. So get me on there, baby.
Well, let's get down to business. At our Cowboys training camp and a couple things we'll go through. I want to get your opinion. We want to talk football, but we got to get into the drama a little bit too, because it weaves and winds and intertwines together. So I don't know if you guys saw this. Stephen Jones can't keep his mouth shut. This is the part I say bothers me the most is, I mean, Stephen Jones, what is he, the senior vice president? Is that what he's called, a capologist? Stuff.
Yeah, he'll be the next owner.
Why is it that when Guyton is injured, he's on doing interviews, letting everyone know that, Nate Thomas looks like he's going to be the first string. He's going to replace him until he's out. Don't you think that should be Schotty's job and Schotty's responsibility? Mm-hmm. I mean, here's another thing of undermining your head coach. And we're going to get into this head coach, which I think we all agree that we love. And then you've got the Diggs injury rehab. You've already fined him, or it's not really a fine. He forfeited money. He doesn't really seem to have much issue with it. I don't know why Stephen Jones continues to make this an issue and has to make this going back and forth with Diggs, one of your star players, one of the guys that you need. I mean, what's your guys' take on? I mean, I have a pretty good feeling, but you guys in the chat, I mean, does anyone agree with the method of the Jones family? Anyone?
Let me start with this. I just read the room, Stephen. Read the room, because you're terrible at it. You were terrible at it. And for those that dislike Jerry Jones and think that Jerry Jones has been an issue, which I absolutely think he has been, I am dreading the day that Steven's the one in charge, because I think he's even worse. And the reason why I think that is because when I say read the room, I'm talking about feel the pulse of Cowboys Nation, the ones that support your organization, your franchise, that buy the tickets, that buy the merch, that support these players, right? Cowboys Nation wants Michael Parsons to be signed. Cowboys Nation wants Diggs to be a productive member of this team. They want him. We need elite cornerbacks. And if Diggs can come back to form and be an elite quarterback, we all want that. So why in the hell would you sit there and continue to stoke the fire, to basically poke the bear with Parsons and Diggs both, and saying the dumb shit that you keep saying? For what reason? Just shut your mouth and say, listen, we're not going to talk about our negotiations out in public because that's messy. We're going to let his agent and our team are going to work together to get a contract done. You know, this is what we're doing. And when it comes to Diggs, say, listen, he chose to do what he chose to do off, and that's what he wanted to do. It's in his contract that he has to train here. We chose to find him. He can make that up in incentives. We're looking forward to having him coming out and having a productive year. But, I mean, the latest thing that he said about the Parsons deal, about that he has to want to get paid. Mm-hmm. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Did you know I saw a graphic today that he is the only first-round pick, superstar out of that 2021 draft class that has not been signed yet? The only one.
Arguably the best one in that draft.
And absolutely. But I mean, you got some superstars. You got Jamar Chase, arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. If worse, top three, I'd say probably top two. He got his deal. I mean, why is it that the Cowboys organization is always the one that wants to not only drag these things out, but then they want to muddy it up by trying to say some slick shit and to be low-key disrespectful to these guys? For what reason? What reason would it benefit you to piss off a guy that you're trying to negotiate with? If I'm trying to strike a deal with you, I'm going to negotiate in good faith. Mm-hmm. I'm going to negotiate based off the fact that you have been one of the best players in the league, and that's talking about Diggs and Parsons, and I want to negotiate in good faith. I want you on my side. There's no reason for me to muddy these waters and throw sticks and stones. Like, just stop that shit. It benefits nobody. Just messy. And then you've got ESPN talking about it, and like always, and it's like, that don't benefit us either, because what we want to do is we want to be productive on the field. And you said it, Mike, you said it many times before. It's like these players and these coaching staff has to win in spite of the Joneses, and it should not be that way. Doesn't have to be that way.
Well, the problem is a zebra not only can't change his stripes, a zebra won't change his stripes. Not an old zebra. This is personal, because Jerry has made this entire situation personal. And when you make it personal and your ego is involved, like he did with Jimmy Johnson, and that shows that the zebra can't change his stripes, now you're sabotaging the team. I always said it. Every year, Jerry does one thing to sabotage the team. And Steven, kiss-ass Steven, vice chief of nepotism, he is following Jerry's suit. He wants to impress Jerry, to make Jerry feel like, I'm going to be just like you if you hand the reins over. He's not his own man, period. So he's now joined personal. Now they get Schotty. They claim they like Schotty. Schotty's doing exactly what needs to be done, helping change the culture. He's enforcing his culture on the team when it comes to fighting, how he presents himself to the team, how everybody gets along. The confidence is high, the excitement is high. But guess what? The attention is drawn away from Jerry and Steven, so they got to bring themselves back in the fold. And that's why Jerry came out and started talking all that smack about Michael, making it personal. And then Steven feels like, oh, well, let me get my part in there too, because I got to impress Daddy, so Daddy can feel like I'm going to be a chip off the old block when he's gone. And unfortunately, this is the sabotage, the IED that can explode everything in the Dallas training camp, take the confidence level down, make everybody feel like what the hell's going on, discombobulate everything and micromanage as he loves to do, to the point to where all of this talent that we got, all of this excitement that we have, this coach we got that's bringing a new culture, the buy-in from the team on this new culture, all of a sudden it's going to start ripping at the threads. Yeah. And when you rip it at the threads from Jerry's standpoint and Steven's standpoint, that's when you take a team that's got the potential right now that we haven't had in a while to really do something this year. You're going to sabotage that before the first game of the season, because I said it in our first show a couple of weeks ago. It would not surprise me a bit if Jerry sabotages this so bad that Michael starts talking to his agent about, well, maybe I have to get a trade. And if he does that, you think Jerry's personal now? Jerry's going to want to one-up it. He's not. Jerry doesn't look at what's best for the team. He never does. It's what's best for my ego. That's what it's about. And unfortunately, Steven done bit off from the same damn tree, and he's doing the same thing Jerry does. And now, look at all this excitement we had. Look at how good and promising we're looking and what we're looking forward to. Something had to happen in Peyton Place. Something had to happen in this soap opera to stir it all up and sabotage it. And this might be one sabotage.
Yeah, and I mean it's unfortunate because he just undermines the coach. He just undermines him, and really what we want to get him to do is talking about, because it's these guys on the field, like I've said and Kelly said, they got to win in spite of them. So we can't control it. The players can't control it. The coach can't. He just has to clean it up. But the one thing I would say is, looking at Schotty, I mean, he's kind of setting the tone. I mean, he's doing a lot of the things that you want to see when you're talking about culture changing. And I want to get into one thing too, that Patrick No C Walker is a friend of the show a little bit, I guess. Hopefully one day we're going to get him on, but I know Kelly had some interactions with him, and he does phenomenal work. But he tweeted the PG version of what CeeDee Lamb on what Schotty said in the huddle. Do we want to be champions? Mm-hmm. And Lamb's take on it, over the years, talent was never the problem. It's been discipline. Right. And I think if we've been Cowboy fans long enough, the one thing that we've seen is a problem with discipline, pre-snap penalties, mental mistakes. You can go back to the Randy Gregory, penalties in the San Francisco 49er playoff game that extended drives, which made it, things harder for the guy. Just stupid mental mistakes. They go back for as far as Jason Garrett, obviously McCarthy and all of them. He's trying to change that, and he's doing that with some of the discipline that he's instilled. And Kelly, I mean, what's your thoughts on what you're seeing from him? It's a little old school, high school feel, but I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Look, I like it because it's an old school feel, but I feel it. I posted a post on Twitter today that I said this feels like Jimmy Johnson-esque. Now, I'm not comparing him to Jimmy in terms of saying that he's going to get the same results as Jimmy, but Jimmy Johnson was old school in the fact that he's going to hold you accountable, that if you're fucking up, if you ain't towing the line, well, then you're going to run some wind sprints. And I mean, that's old school discipline going all the way back to junior high. I mean, but it works because listen, I mean, if they run you to death, you're going to think twice about the next time you go to throw a punch. And listen, I like it because I said, there's going to be a lot of people that'll shrug it off and say, you know what, this is nothing. I mean, what, come on, man, what we were talking about here? You made them run. So what, it's the little things that lead to big things, because the thing is, if your team is undisciplined, like the Dallas Cowboys have been, and this dates back all the way to the Jason Garrett years, the Cowboys over the last 7-8 years, I would say, have been one of the most penalized teams every single season. And listen, penalties cost you games. In a close, tight-knit game, in a one-score game, penalties cost you games. You sit there and you look across the board and you lose by a field goal or you lose by 7 points and you've got 115 yards in penalties. You don't think them 115 yards is a goddamn touchdown. That's a touchdown. That's 100 yards worth of penalties one way or the other. But, I mean, You're talking about 100 yards, a whole goddamn football field. And the Cowboys did that on multiple occasions. So things like this, it sets it's discipline, accountability, and it sets the expectation. Here is what I expect of you. If you do not reach these expectations, there will be consequences. And that's the kind of coach you need. You don't need some coach that's sitting out there that wants to be best friends with everybody, wants to be buddy-buddy with everybody. And listen, Schotty's also good at that. Schotty is good at sitting there building relationships and building the chemistry while also holding these guys accountable. And listen, the highest of the highest players in the NFL want to be held accountable. They want to be pushed. They want to be made better. They crave it. Every single athlete, they crave it. That's why, I mean, if you look at the highest, Michael Jordan loved Phil Jackson because Phil Jackson made him a better player. And that's what good coaches do. And so I'm not saying that I think Schotty is going to have maybe the same results as Jimmy Johnson, but it is goddamn a step in the right direction. And if you can't be happy about that, if you can't be encouraged about seeing that with your head coach, a head coach that a lot of us did not really want, then I don't really know what else you're expecting from the guy at this point. Because right now, what he's doing is he's walking the walk. He's saying what he wants to do, and he is walking the talk. So I like what I'm seeing from Schottenheimer so far, man. I've got no complaints. I bought in 100%. Granted, I still got to see it on the field. We got to still see it play out. But I'm loving it, man. I really do. I love to see what he's doing because he's saying things, but then he's doing them. And then that comes in just not only that, the discipline area, but what he's talking about with the offense, man. He's talking about the creative offense. And you're seeing some of that in training camp. You're seeing a lot more motion. There's a play the other day where, No C. Walker tweeted out. They motioned Pickens and Lamb to the same side. And he said, oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Good luck defense. Good luck defenses, because Schotty is getting creative. He's talking about running pistol. He's talking about running wildcat. And you saw a couple plays where Dak was running the ball. We hadn't seen Dak run the ball a lot. So I don't know, man. I'm loving Schotty. He's bringing the excitement. And that's what we want as a fan base, is to be excited, to not be sitting there thinking same old shit. Here comes a coach that's going to toe the line. He's a Jerry Jones guy like Garrett and like Mike McCarthy. Schottenheimer to me is a breath of fresh air. And I love it. I really do.
And I was looking today, I was looking over our roster because, man, it's almost, when I looked over the roster, it's almost like looking at $1 million, like you just won a big lottery or something. And you just want to keep looking at it. Man, I looked at our roster, and most people would be surprised how deep, strong, and effective we are on defensive line, defensive tackle, defensive ends.
Defensive ends.
We are deep, and on offense, deep, and wide receivers. They showing out in training practice. We got a wide receiver out there that's showing out, and people don't even know his name. I think it's a Perion or something. Listen, everything that we want to see in the Cowboys in training camp this season that can take us on the field and go somewhere, we're seeing it. We have talent on top of talent on top of talent right now. And Schotty has shocked most of us with his approach in a good way. But you know what? You're always sitting there thinking things are looking just too damn good right now. Something's about to happen. And as soon as I say that, it reminds me of looking at that. What was that dumb cartoon guy that used to be a Mad Magazine?
Yeah.
A face popped up of this guy from Mad Magazine in my mind, and it was the face of Jerry Jones. And when I saw that, and after I got through looking at the roster today, and I started thinking, and I said, damn it, that's what's gonna cause us a problem today. Because if he doesn't shut his mouth throughout this training camp, we're going to start having problems. And this Michael Parsons thing has gotten personal, guys. It is no longer with Jerry about the business side. It's personal. And you know what happens when he takes things personal. Look what he did with Jimmy Johnson. And it took him 25 years to apologize and say he regretted it. If he messes this up with Micah, this is going to be the biggest blunder in NFL Dallas Cowboys history. And then here's my biggest issue about Cowboys succeeding in spite of Jerry and Steven. You can't because what's going to happen is they're going to spill it over in Schotty. They're going to get in Schotty's ear. Jerry's going to get in Schotty's ear, and he's going to start trying to dictate and micromanage shit. And eventually, Schotty's going to have to sit down with him and say, listen, you gave me the reins. Things are looking up. The coach is changing. The players are excited. We got talent on top of talent. Jerry, please let me do my job, in the words of Jimmy Johnson. And Jerry's going to take it personal. His ego's going to get involved. And when he starts micromanaging Schotty, that's when the holes in the ship are going to start showing themselves.
No, we just got to open it. I don't want to talk about this idiot no more.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Talk about football. I want to talk about, because I mean, he's a given. So they got to do it. They got to go in spite of him. They got to make it happen. So talking about, I saw, and I called him. Help me with the name, because I thought it was Toya, but it's
Toya, something like that.
All right,
he's killing.
But we're talking about Mozzie Smith, and there's been a lot of video. There's been a lot of talk about him. You know, kind of getting pushed around a little bit. Obviously, he's a little bit lighter weight. You're hearing the coaches talking about maybe to use him this way, maybe this way, you know, and it seems like they don't know what to do with Mozzie, which makes me wonder, is he just not getting it done? I mean, do you think, could this be a point where it's time to move on? Now, let me be fair. A defensive tackle and what his job is to do is not a glamorous position. He's not going to get 10 sacks. He's not, you know, his thing, he's a space eater. He needs to be a space eater. And so he's not going to pile up a lot of numbers. But he needs to, one thing is to maintain and dominate the line of scrimmage. He can't get pushed back. And that was some of the problems a little bit last year. But what you're seeing with Mozzie, and then you're seeing, you know, great reviews from our 7th rounder. Did you get his pronunciation right, Kelly?
I did. It's pronounced Toia.
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 So you see what he's doing. Kelly's on record, not a fan of 7th round defensive tackles. So I don't know how you feel now. You get any better? Or, I mean, this is the one area of concern. This is an area of concern.
They, you know, we're going to mention him again because he's one of the great follows on Twitter is Patrick Walker. Had tweeted out today that a couple things about Jay Toia, and what it was that he's moving offensive linemen, and they're saying that he moves with power and agility. They're saying that he's like, it's kind of crazy to watch a guy as big as he is to be able to move with the agility and also the power that he has. So it's twofold, right? Whereas just a few days ago, they're sitting there and they're showing a highlight of Mozzie Smith getting pushed around like a sled drill. And, and it prompted me to say, that who hasn't pushed Mozzie Smith at this point, he is a sled drill. And the thing is that with Mozzie Smith, they've tried literally so many things. They've had to gain weight, they have him lose weight. They said they're going to have him play at 1 tech. They're going to play a little at the 0 tech. They're going to, they don't know what the hell they want to do with Mozzie. And I think the reason why they don't know is because he's just not it. I don't really think that Jerry wants them to come out and say that, but you could kind of sense it in some of the things that Eberflus was saying the other day when they were talking about Mozzie. It was not a defensive coordinator that has confidence in a guy, the way that he was talking.
Yeah.
It was subtle, but if you listen to some of the things he was saying, it does not bode well for Mozzie Smith. I think the journey for the Cowboys and Mozzie Smith might very well end this year. I don't know, though, that they can afford to right now, just because in depth-wise, maybe if there's a couple of defensive tackles that maybe get cut. Because right now, if you look at the free agent pool, it is terrible. You do have Christian Wilkins out there, but I've heard he was into some Diddy stuff. He's kissing people and whatnot, and so there's a little.
They don't even know how much he can even. They were
injured, but they released him because of the whole kissing deal. He was getting back into the deal, kissed the guy.
Some odd behavior.
Listen, I seen some behavior from that man. Dating all the way back to college, he got some sus. That dude doing some crazy stuff on the field. But I think that it's good if we can get a guy like, listen, because what I have heard from several people that said, that were telling me, hey, don't dismiss the fact that Toia is the 7th round pick. They said that he slipped to the 7th round, but that he should have been picked closer to probably the 5th round. So listen, if we get a guy out of the 7th, and we can listen, the last 7th round guy was it Jay Ratliff? So
Yeah.
so maybe it's a thing with Jays, and that's what we need is we need another Jay on the team. This one's Toia. So if he can make a difference and have an impact, then that would be great. Because listen, we've whiffed on free agent signings, we've whiffed on early round draft picks. If we can hit on a late round draft pick, listen, I'm not going to complain at all, man. We need all the help that we can get on the interior of that on that defensive line. That's the weakest position right now on the team, hands down, bar none. So if we can get help in that, I'm all for it, man. So I hope that kid is as good as what he's looking like kind of early on in training camp. And what I would say is where the real indicator is going to come for me on everybody that we're seeing right now, ones that are playing good or ones that are maybe even struggling, is when we go against that joint scrimmage against the Rams on August 4th. That's going to be the indicator, because then you're going to see, with some of these guys, Donovan, as I'm going to butcher his last name. There you go. Easy E. That's a good name. So we're going to see, he's been getting rave reviews about how good he has looked. I mean, the dude looked, every time you see him, he looks like he's shot out of a damn cannon. And so you're going to either see, listen, is he that good, or is our offensive line struggling that bad to block him? Because we have had issues at both the right tackle and the left tackle position. So listen, are they struggling that bad, or is Easy E that good? And, is Mozzie Smith struggling that bad, or, whatever? We'll see a little bit more and get a little bit clearer vision of everybody on this team when we go up against the Rams in that joint practice. And that's really what I'm looking for in terms of where a lot of these guys are at right now.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are in pads, once they had one pad. And they're not even, they're being physical, but it's not like the old days where they're beating a lot of each other.
And Perrion Winfrey, nobody's talking about him. Yeah. Perrion Winfrey is playing his ass off at nose tackle. And him and Toya, that offensive line is taking everything in that offensive line to keep them guys out. And so we got a couple, but we need relief. You can't just count on those two. You got to have relief backing them up. Mozzie, I said it last year. Mike was like, Mozzie showing flair. I think Mozzie. No, I said last year, we need to let Mozzie go. Last year, let Mozzie go. Mozzie is lazy. Mozzie's got his money. Mozzie's comfortable. He's complacent. Mozzie just wants to hang around till his contract's up, whatever happens. I think what Mozzie's thinking, well, if somebody else pick me up, they'll probably give me a year, so at least I'll be in the league for a year. Mozzie is not committed. Mozzie really, to me, doesn't really give a damn about football. Mozzie is who he is. We need to let Mozzie go. Toya and Perrion, they came to play, and they are showing it. And defensive ends, we're so thick on those, boy, you can throw a rock and hit them all across the land.
That's a deep position.
We are deep on those. So Mozzie, I don't care what Eberflus tries to do with Mozzie, short of putting him on the bench to hand everybody their helmets, and I'll be surprised if he get it right. Mozzie needs to go. He needs to go. They ain't going to do it in training camp, because right now you don't know who's going to go down. And even if he's the worst of the worst, you still got somebody on the field. So we don't know what's going to happen here. By the time we get close to the season and it's time for cut time and we start seeing other free agencies out there, maybe they'll either put him on the waivers, or maybe they'll make a trade, or maybe they'll get somebody. But Mozzie, his time has been up with the Cowboys last year. And Toya, I think he's going to be the starter. Toya's going to be the starter, and Perrion Winfrey's going to back him up.
Yeah, Mozzie's going to be on the roster because he's owed a lot of money. So, I mean, Cowboys aren't going to.
Well, my thing is this though: if there is a roster cut though, if there's a defensive tackle out there that gets cut off of a roster that the Cowboys got their eyes on, they might cut him, because if they need to make room on the roster, and it's either Mozzie or a guy that they're like, hey, this guy can contribute. Mozzie's a sled drill. Let's get rid of him. He could be a casualty.
It's just typically first-round draft picks make it through their first contract. Unless they're,
typically. He's been pretty damn bad through the first two seasons. And
the kid from the Titans just got cut. And I think my man Restrepo is something that might have something to do with it. But he kind of ran out his welcome there. So it happens. It's just not. Well,
there's another defensive tackle that's from that just got cut. He was a former Longhorn, and he got cut, and he did not finish his year out but he did not finish his rookie season out.
He's
And
a
from
long-
what I saw, though, I thought that they said that he actually, because I want to say it was the Titans. I just remember reading some comments from the fans of the team that he played for that actually thought that he had played pretty good when given his chances. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those.
Texas, that's no surprise. It happens all the time. They're always over.
Well, listen, I'll just say for Mozzie Smith, though, in a year where he really needs to prove things, it's not. I don't think it's a good sign that they're giving their 7th round draft pick reps with the ones.
Yeah.
Because he was Toia was getting reps with the ones today, and got a few reps, and not only was he getting reps, they said that O-line, it was taking everything that they could to contain him. So that's great news. Great news.
That you want to hear, and really some other good news is Kaiir Elam. He's been one of the standouts in camp. We talked a little bit about it on Monday. I mean, Kelly, you probably saw just the energy he's bringing, the confidence, and I kind of put a video on it, and it's just, he played at Florida. He played in the SEC. He's 1st-round draft pick. And I know, Kelly, we have fun making fun of the Cowboys on their 1st-round draft picks that they all sign, after their contracts. But, this kid looks like he's gotten his swag back. And again, they're in shorts, and we'll see. But in a position of need like cornerback is for this team, because you don't know what's going to happen with Diggs, when he's going to be ready. Obviously, Ravel, they drafted, injury. Carson just he got hurt, so he's out for a little bit. So they don't really have a lot of room for error. If Elam can be what his potential was coming out of Florida, and he's showing signs of it early. That's a huge, huge win for the Cowboys if this ends up being legit. What's your thoughts on him so far?
Absolutely, man. And you gotta like what you've seen so far. And that there was nobody. I don't recall anybody that thought that Kaiir Elam was going to come in. In fact, there was people throwing around gloom and doom tweets that were saying, hey, if Elam and Carson or your 2 cornerbacks you're throwing out on the outside versus Philly week 1, you're getting toasted, right? You're just getting absolutely skewered. And I would have had to agree with him at that time. But now, you've been watching, and he's getting, Elam's getting rave reviews. They're saying he's been the most stickiest cornerback in training camp and the most consistent. Got another interception today. Sometimes the thing is sometimes a fresh start is needed. Sometimes a new environment. Sometimes a different scheme, a different position coach. Some of those things. Some of it's just the smallest thing that can result in the biggest flip in terms of their players' play on the field. You see it a lot of times. And it could be that maybe he knows that if he doesn't hit here, he's probably out of the league, because if he doesn't show here, he's probably not getting the 3rd chance. This is probably his last opportunity. So this is probably his last opportunity. Because we talk about it all the time. The average lifespan of an NFL player is about 3 to 4 years, which is basically their rookie contract. You basically play your rookie contract, and most of the players are kind of out the door at that point. So if he's a guy and he's doing well, that's great for the Cowboys, because right now that's another thin position with all the injuries going on and uncertainty with if Diggs is going to be able to start the season. Is Deron Bland going to be healthy? Right, to start the season. So there's a lot of question marks at cornerback right now, and we got a lot of really good wide receivers we're going to have to play against. And we start off with one of the best duos there in the league, regardless of your feelings on them. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are no joke. So
they're going to have their hands.
But the thing too, also, when you're talking about the corners and how Elam's playing, every little nugget that's part of training camp helps the psyche of players and helps them raise their game. Look at Schotty's culture. Look at the excitement. Look at how the guys are talking to one another like a team. They didn't have this last year. And that, believe it or not, that plays into the psyche in a person's ability to take it to a different level. And that's why Elam is probably playing at the level that he's playing in training camp. And a lot of players are playing that way in training camp that are surprising people, because When that new culture comes in, they brought that new fresh air from Schotty. Schotty walks into practice. He daps people on the field when they get in the play. You ready? You ready? I'm ready. And he has a no nonsense way of treating the players, but he's not a bully. And these guys see that and they feel it. When you feel it, everything comes out of you to take it to a whole new level. And that's why Elam and all these guys are playing well. I'm telling you, keep your eye on Perion Winfrey. And these other players that you're not hearing names of, Trayshawn Holden, wide receiver, had an acrobatic catch down there. These guys, Sam Williams, he batted the ball down on the goal line stance, and then had a sack. These guys are playing on a different level because of how the culture is and the air is changed around them. And long as they're in that bubble and nobody contaminates and taints that bubble and lets them stay that way, you're going to see the best out of Elam. The best out of Kalen when he gets back on the field. The best out of Diggs, because Diggs sees he's got to earn his way back now. He can't just step in and that's it. So all of this is happening for a good reason, and it's bringing the best out of these players. And I love it. I love it because the names that are showing up in training camp that are getting a recognition, even through Patrick Walker, these are people that we hadn't even heard of. And these are going to supplement the depth of what we already have, as long as we can stay healthy.
Oh, health is the key.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Health is the equalizer to any team. I mean, and like I said, I've said you don't want to see anybody getting hurt on any team. I mean, you want to see these guys playing their best and the best man win and the best team win. But looking at what you're seeing so far, with the players in training camp and kind of your observations of where the Cowboys are. I mean, is there been anything that's been a pleasant surprise? I mean, you guys in the chat too. Is there anything that's been a kind of a pleasant surprise? It could be a position group, could be a specific player that you didn't have the expectations for, but it's like, man, this guy's, now, or this position group is starting to maybe make me sleep better at night. What do you got, Kelly? Anything stand out?
I'd say one of them I think is that I was a little kind of unsure of was the linebackers. Just because I kind of wondered about you have, Kenneth Murray, he's got a lot of tackles, not really graded too well. The Titans, kind of gave up on him, but he's been out there. It sounds like he's been doing good. Maurice Leafau has been playing really well. They said he's diagnosing plays quicker. You've got Overshown. I mean, there was that play where Overshown, that was one play that literally was like, I told somebody, I was like, man, I might have got a little bit too excited on that play right there. I seen him running, sprinting downfield, looked like a full sprint. They later asked him, he said it was only about 70%. But I mean, the fact that he's able to run with that type of burst lets you know that he's probably closer to coming back than what initially was talked about, because they were talking about at first that he wasn't even going to see the field in 2025. I definitely think he'll be on the field this year, but the linebacker position, I think, is a position that's making me feel a little bit better. And honestly,
Sam, too, quick shout out to Boots on the Ground, Eric. I mean, phenomenal work. If you guys didn't see it, by him and the Cowboys Can fan, he was there and recorded the practice that they had. I think it was, when was I watching it? It's Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember. It was a weekend. And I just got mesmerized watching it. Phenomenal work. So shout out to him. He was talking about the linebackers as well, Kelly. Mm-hmm. So he's echoing.
Well, that's a position that I really feel good about. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of starting to feel a little bit better about the running back position. I know that's been a position that people have talked about next to defensive tackle as being one of the weaker positions. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better about that position as well, just because I'm liking some of the things that I'm seeing from these guys, whether it be Miles Sanders, his name has
been a lot. I didn't have high hopes for him, but he's actually looking good so far.
I didn't either, but he's looking good. And then you've got, Jaden Blue, they're talking about the burst from him. And, a name that I didn't think I'd be talking about who's gotten some carries at running back is Kevontae Turpin. Mm-hmm. I did not think I would be saying that at any point in Kevontae Turpin's career. But man, when he gets the ball and they've given him some chances, he has busted off some chunk plays. I mean, he is a very quick guy, and all he needs is a little bit of space. And then, from there, we all know how that can go because he's a dynamic returner. So, I mean, Kevontae Turpin, and I think that, the fact that he's getting some of those carries and getting some looks, I don't think that bode well for Deuce Vaughn. But, yeah, running back and linebacker for me are those two position groups.
Yeah. What quick, Eric, on Tuesday practice, anything you guys want to keep an eye? I mean, for me, if do your boy side, let me see that defensive line and that offensive line of the Cowboys, man. I want to see the trenches. I want to see the trenches. But what's up, Greg? What's your thoughts?
Yeah. What I was happy about now is Blue's getting first team reps in the running back, and I like that now because I was like, where is Blue? I know they want to bring him on slow, but Blue's now getting first team reps, and I definitely love Turpin with the way they're using him in the running back, because see, with Pickens now you don't need Turpin out there to try to draw off some of the defensive coverage with Lamb being out there all the time, and now Turpin with his speed. If we can bring him in more play action plays in the running back position with his speed, now we can utilize his speed a lot more. And he is lighting it up. Did y'all see that catch he made in the end zone, in the back of the end zone, where he leaped probably about 6 feet in the back of the end zone, caught the ball high, came down with both feet, and one of the coaches that was at the goal line just ran like this. Turpin is lighting it up as a running back because, see, when he hits the hole, he hits it, and he's gone. When he hits that hole, he hits it. So you got Blue taking first-team reps now. Miles and Williams, they're the ones that's been taking first-team reps, and they're looking good, folks. They're looking good back there. With Blue coming in on first-team reps now, they're saying he's earned it, and he's looking good back there. So now you got Turpin too. That running back core is what we needed so bad last year and had an opportunity to get in free agency, but we didn't. And that, to me, is the biggest aspect of all of the jewels we have in training camp that I love so much. My biggest, sweetest spot of training camp is that running back core we got, because they say running back by committee. I don't think they mean running back by committee because they don't know who's going to take the lead. I think they mean running back by committee because we got a lot of talent back there and everybody can contribute equally. So the running back position for me, especially with Blue coming in, getting first team reps this week, I am overjoyed with, and Turpin is lighting it up back there as well. And all these different motions that we're doing at the same time too, long as we're disciplined on the motions and we don't jump offside and get the legal procedure, it is going to be fascinating to watch these other teams try to set up against our offense.
No, I think it's our offense is gonna be lighting it up. One other guy lighting up, my man Cole's Cowboys. What's up, brother? Hopefully you're doing good. We need to get him back on the show, Kelly. It's been too long.
Yeah, we do. He mentioned something today. He said something today on Twitter and said, "Should I start doing Cowboys content again?" I didn't know you were doing Cowboys content. The hell, Coles? Come on, man! Don't let it better not be because these damn Eagles fans. You better not be letting them come out of
retirement. You got to come out of retirement in the Cowboys cave. You come on here, man. We'll chop it up. We'll work the rust out for you. Get you right where you need to be. Get you ready to piss some people off again. The one thing I will say,
you're out, we'll pull you right back in.
Kelly, I don't know if this is ultra. He has a lot of personalities, but understand this. I'm going to say this one last time for you idiotic Texas Longhorns fans. Arch Manning could not beat the quarterback, the 7th round draft pick of the Dolphins. He couldn't beat him out for that starting job. And you guys are hanging all your hopes and all your – this ain't Peyton Manning playing at Texas. This is Arch Manning. There'll be a big difference. And reality is going to come in against Ohio State. Ohio State's going to wax that ass. And what did Arch Manning do? So, I mean, calm down with the Arch Manning hype. Let's see him do something good. Then you could say, "Hey,
couldn't even beat it." Yeah, couldn't even fucking beat out. Couldn't even beat out that scrub they had last year. The guy couldn't beat out yours, and he had the opportunities. They just didn't. He couldn't do it. And
he'll be at the Cardinals next year because the Cardinals are probably going to be trash. He'll probably be picked for the Cardinals.
It's funny though. It's funny though that Ultra has as many accounts as he has.
I don't know if it's him. It could be.
You can tell. You can tell because
the words
as jumped in, yes.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. So,
yeah,
but I
you
Ultra,
know,
just be Ultra. We love Ultra. Just be Ultra.
Yeah, just come in here as Ultra, man. We already know how you feel about Dak, man. You come in here and you spitting all your shit. I mean, you're one of the only Cowboys fans that come in here and does that. So,
let me tell you.
He understands what we've been saying, Kelly, about Arch. Yeah. Let's prove it. Let's prove it first before we anoint him the next great one. Let's see. Because, I mean, I've watched his games, and there's been zero. He can run. I mean, he runs better than his uncles, and but I want to see him throw the ball better. Or even halfway as good as they do before I start putting him in the Hall of Fame.
So what my brother would say right now is OH. But look, somebody else that's looking awesome in training camp, and Eberflus is head over heels, and he loves him, is Osa Odigizua. Osa is playing brilliant in training camp. He is looking damn good, and Sam Williams is so happy to be back on the field that he's got that gleam. He's got that gleam.
Gleam, gentlemen.
Sam Williams got that gleam.
Yep. Yeah. You know what they said about him that I liked was that they said when they announced that they were about to have their first padded practice and that the pads were coming on, they said Sam Williams started barking. You were ready to get them damn pads on. I mean, we talked about it last week, Greg, that Schotty had to take Sam Williams and sit him down out of practice because he got a little too carried away and was laying the wood on some guys. And Schotty said, look, he said, I love the energy. He goes, but hey, look, we don't have the pads on right now. We don't want to get anybody hurt. I'm going to sit you down, and I'm going to sit you off to the side for the rest of practice. When we come back to the next practice, be ready to, to focus, lock in, bring the energy, but let's not bring too much of the energy. He said, when the pads come on, then you can bring it. This was just another thing that we talked about last week. Just another small thing to take that player and remove him from practice, and say, I love the energy, but you got to harness that energy and put it in towards the right type of things, because Sam Williams has kind of been known to make some kind of boneheaded plays a la Randy Gregory, boneheaded plays in wrong moments and wrong times. And I think that was kind of that message there too, that Schottenheimer's like, look, time and place, right? And though it's like I said, it's the small things that equal up to the big things, because when it's a 4th and 2, and the game's on the line and you've got the other team going for it, the last thing you need is to jump off sides, or the last thing you need is to go in and hit the quarterback late when it's an incomplete pass. You know what I'm saying? So the little things, they equal up to big things. And so just another example of a guy who I think is going to benefit from the discipline and the accountability that Schottenheimer's bringing to the Dallas Cowboys team.
And that's what I like about Schotty in training camp now, because, in life, no matter what you think about a person in advance, when you don't know anything about them, you put your own thought and opinions in it. And then when you finally get to see the person for who they are, a lot of times you're like, there's another epiphany in life I just learned. Need to keep my damn opinions to myself till I let this person show me who they are. And we all fell into that trap. But Schotty is bringing to our team a coaching style that's out there among other coaching teams and organizations that McCarthy didn't have. McCarthy's a good coach, but those little nuggets, like you just mentioned, McCarthy had none of those. And because of that, in the style of play today, that was absent. That being absent was discipline, bad calls, Guyton jumping off sides all the time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Motivation level, confidence went down, all of that. But Schotty's bringing all that back. And Schotty is on that level age-wise as these other coaches, the LaFleurs and all these other people. And he's thinking, and his thinking is on that same level of football the way it is now, and not bringing back the old school thinking that you can tweak a little bit and make it work, because the game advanced past McCarthy, and McCarthy could get a few wins out of it, but he couldn't sustain it throughout the playoffs, because the uniqueness and how the NFL is being played now with these younger coaches and these new techniques, McCarthy never adopted any of those things. Schotty already had them, and he sat back on the sideline, quiet, respectful, and did what he had to do and take notes. And I'm sure there's a few things from McCarthy that he took, but at the same time, now he's bringing his own bag in. And that thing he did with Sam Williams, the thing he did about the fighting, the running when he got in the fight, take it to the line, but don't go over that, and how it hurts the team when we're playing in big games, all of that makes a difference. And that alone, I'm telling you, Schotty by himself, I have to give him credit, is totally responsible for this quick, expeditious culture change, buy-in, and confidence and excitement by the players. I have to give him credit for that because it didn't come from Jerry, it didn't come from Steven. And Eberflus has been quiet doing his thing as a defensive coach. He's doing a damn good job, quiet as it is, getting that defense together because he's making these players step up to the talent that they have and play the way he wants them to play. And he hasn't had to call anybody out. And the weakest link out there right now, bar none, was Mozzie. Because there are no really weak links that we're hearing about that are having bad training practices. It's just Mozzie, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, and I think too that a lot of people like I was a McCarthy fan, so I mean I'm not gonna bash McCarthy, but what I would say is if there's a mistake that McCarthy made, and I think that Schottenheimer is doing opposite. He brought in a lot of young coaches, the assistant coaches. I mean, I think that makes a big difference where I think McCarthy brought in his buddies, right? The same group and that same group. I mean, he's brought in, Adams, the offensive line, mindset. And then he brought in the offensive line coach from college, from K-State, and White Cotton, I think from Arizona. Hopefully I got all these teams right. I'm trying to remember them all. But there was just a lot of young coaches that are on this. I think it's 17 new coaches, and most of them are, really young guys. So it brings in energy. It brings some fresh eyes. You got Ken Dorsey, in there from the U, so I'm always going to give him some love. But you bring in some different perspective and different stuff. So I think that's one of the biggest things with the Cowboys is the just wholesale change they did in their whole coaching staff.
Who was the last coach of the Dallas Cowboys that did that? Who was the last coach of the
brought in all young guys?
Yep, that brought in young.
Probably. I mean, you're going back to Jimmy when he brought all his Miami guys in. Yeah. I mean, you see those old pictures of Dave Campo with the glasses and the coach's shorts. I'm laughing at him with the Miami days and Butch Davis and all that. But yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, Kelly, what's your thoughts on the staff as a whole? I mean, it's just been I
like it. It's refreshing. I just think it's what this Cowboys team needed was a revamp. And I really am glad that because when one of the things that bothered me the most was when they first made Schottenheimer the head coach. I thought, fuck, here we go again. They're gonna keep basically a whole goddamn coaching staff. Mm-hmm. Everybody's gonna stay. They're just gonna assign them new roles and new promotions because Schotty's been on the staff and he's buddies with this guy and he's buddies with this guy and Jerry likes this guy and Jerry likes this guy. But he didn't, they allowed, they went out and I feel like they allowed Schottenheimer to bring in guys that of similar mind thinking as him. You bring in a guy like Eberflus that has been known to fix run defenses that are porous. One of our biggest weaknesses, run defense, right? Brings him in, but brings in a lot of really, really young guys who, let's face it, that's kind of what the NFL has gone to. The old school coaches have kind of gone by the wayside. You don't have the Bill Belichick's, you don't have the Bill Parcells. I mean, right now the oldest coach in the league right now, I think, is Pete Carroll out with the Raiders. Other than that, it's all a lot of coaches that are around the same age as Schottenheimer, whether it's, Dan Campbell up in Detroit, even DQ to a lesser extent. I mean, he's a little bit older than some of them guys, but, you've got it's a younger man's game, and that's what a lot of the teams are trying to duplicate. They've got young ideas, fresh energy, and they can, at the same time, while holding these guys accountable and bringing discipline, they can also still relate to these players.
Yes.
You see Schottenheimer out there, and he's dancing to the music that they got going on out there. And Schotty's he's feeling it. You know what I mean? You don't see a Bill Belichick doing that shit. Bill Belichick ain't out there dancing. You know what I'm saying? He's looking stoic on the sideline and, just grim face. Looks like he's, looks like he hates life. So I love seeing it, man, because look, you need a good combination of the energy along with the hard-nosed discipline to where you can pull your players aside and you can get on their ass and they still will turn around and give you 110% because they love you as a coach, because you're also that guy that can go out there with them and dance and want to have fun and, and do those team activities that he's been getting them together doing, because, those energy drills that they've been bringing in practice, the players love that, man. They love that. And, there's videos circulating around, and guaranteed, here's the thing, guaranteed, Cowboys slip up in the playoffs and have a bad game and get eliminated round one. That video of Dak Prescott riding the broom like a pony. Oh,
yeah.
It's going to be all over the damn internet. But you know what? I don't give a damn, because the energy is being brought every single day. And the players feel it. The coaches feel it. The media feels it. Yep. It's not just talk. It's not just talk to talk. Every single person, players, staff, all of them, they say the energy's different. The energy's different. You know what I mean? We hear from these guys. So I don't know, man. I'm digging it. I'm loving it. I mean, this is what you wanted to see. This is what we all asked for. This was what we thought we'd be getting in a good young coach like Ben Johnson. We were always screaming Ben Johnson. Yeah. This is what we were envisioning him doing. Schottenheimer's doing all the things that we wanted to have done. So as a fan, you got to be optimistic. You got to feel good about it. Nobody wants to go into the season with their head down thinking it's going to be a shit season. Right. Nobody wants that. You want to have optimism. You want to have reasons for optimism. Listen, We've given you plenty of reasons for optimism tonight. If you still choose to be pessimistic, it's because you choose to be pessimistic, not because there ain't reasons to be optimistic. I'm not telling you got to buy into this team as a Super Bowl contender. I'm telling you this team is going to surprise a lot of people and be a lot better than a lot of people think. Vegas has us at 7.5 wins. I think whoever made that line is smoking crack. So go ahead. And why are you doing it? Like Uncle Cheech says, go make that Schotty, baby. Let's go
right,
make that
and what Schotty's doing isn't fake. Some coaches will try to do what Schotty's doing, not mimicking Schotty, but try to do the things Schotty's doing. And you could tell that's not their personality and it's fake. And players could see that. What Schotty's doing comes natural to Schotty. This is naturally Schotty in the way he presents himself to his players, his whole character. And they see that. They see the honesty in it. They see that. And like you said, they relate to him because he's a younger guy, because the coaches are younger, because he's coming from this type of NFL games as it's being played now by other coaches that are doing the same thing. They love that. They've been waiting on this for a long time, because before it's just been kind of stoic. And then the real coach was always Jerry Jones before, and he was getting in the way. Now, unless Jerry puts his mouth in the media, we don't hear much about the story isn't about Jerry anymore in the media, if you notice, until he opens his mouth and says something. So he's not at the forefront. It's about the excitement what the Cowboys are doing. And now the odds makers are going to change that prediction pretty soon. They're going to see that they're going to have to change that.
I think it went up to like 8.5.
Because a lot of people that took that bet back then are going to make some money.
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, I've
been meaning to go across the bridge, man. Nebraska got to get their shit together, man. We got a casino. I got a casino literally walking distance from me, but they don't yet allow sports betting. I don't know why. You got a damn casino, but you can't sports bet. It's stupid. There's some weird thing that's holding it up or whatever. So I got to drive across the river into Iowa, into that dump of a town and called Council Bluff. And I hate going there, but I have to drive over there and go to Council Tucky. I have to go over there and play sports bet. And I've been meaning to do it. I've got the money put away. I've got $200 to put on the Cowboys that they'll go over 7.5 wins. And shit, if it went up to 8.5,
I threw money on that one.
I'll still put it on them.
Even before Pickens, I put it on it. But then even with Pickens, they didn't really change it much. So I definitely check it.
I'll still put money on him.
Yeah.
Hey,
shout out.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, quick shout out to Drew. On X, Twitter. He wants to know how we feel about the running game. We talked about it, but we feel pretty good about the running game. Got to see a little bit more. Obviously, we'll see what happens and see how this preseason games will kind of solidify maybe that position. But just a reminder to you guys, I see some people on X, and we got over 300 people hanging out in the chat. Make sure you guys slide over to YouTube at some point and hit that subscribe button if you're not already. And if you are, no worries. You can watch on X. It's no big deal. But we'd love to get you subscribing over there. We're getting close to that 5,000 mark, and we'd love to get there by opening day. That'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, sorry, cut you off, Greg.
But fans out there, listen, keep your ears open for Hakeem Adeniji. Keep your ears open for Perion Winfrey. Keep your ears open for Trayshawn Holden. Keep your ears open for some of these players that are on business in training camp that are looking to make that number 2 position in their position, and they're shining. And we need that depth. And we need that depth that's hungry the way they are showing up. That's the depth that I want, that hunger. So when the first one comes out, the second one is no slippage. So keep your ears open for these names that you're not accustomed to, because these guys are lighting it up in training camp. They're hungry. And I love what Overshown is doing with his level of motivation on the sideline and how he wants to get. Let me tell you, they're going to have to put some ropes and corral that young man, because he is ready. Game 8, my ass. He'll probably be back by game 6. And then he gets on the field, lightning is going to.
I think he said he wanted to be back by the Thanksgiving game. In November.
That's lightning in the bottle. That is lightning in the bottle.
So listen, I'm not gonna doubt him. If he says he can do it, but you know, at the same time, I will say sometimes, like you said with a rope though, harness, sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves.
Don't
want to rush him back, because listen, he's a superstar in the making. But sometimes these guys really want to push the limits and they want to get back in a major way. And sometimes they push it, go a little too hard. It's that coaching staff, training staff. Sometimes they got to reel these guys back in, protect them from themselves. But I'm definitely excited for when Overshown does hit the field, because I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be like a shot of steroids to that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And more of a shot of steroids I saw in the chat is people asking about Uncle Cheech and what is his thoughts on that over-under on 7.5. He's all over it. He told me as soon as that line came out, he told me to go ahead and bet whatever I had. So I bet whatever I had in my pocket, and I put 300 on the Cowboys in the over. So easy money. But you guys who don't know Uncle Cheech, he is our Vegas insider. He's the man that can make you a lot of scuttle. Like my man Kelly said, his lock of the week was over 70%. He is going to be on Mondays. He's going to be on our Wednesday shows pregame before Thursday. So you're going to get a double dose of Cheech. He's got he went down to South Florida. He got some new shades. He got a new lid. I think he got a free bowl of soup when he bought that hat. So he is ready to go. And so definitely check out Uncle Cheech. And more importantly, Cowboys Cave one last time. Tailgate party for those of you guys that came to the party late. Week 4 against the Packers. It is going to be on. It's going to be better than ever. And it's in lot 10. And you guys, all you got to do is show up. And we're doing a little fundraising for it. Those Cowboys Caves paddles you see in the upper left and right corner, you can get those made by Cuts by Jones. I think they're $40. He can, obviously, Cowboys Cave on one side. He can customize the other side, so you can do whatever you want. Your name, you can commemorate the day. You can do whatever, F the Packers if you want, whatever you want to do. He will get it done. So make sure you guys check us out. Message Kelly, message me. We'll get that done. And then one last thing before I forget, and then we'll get things starting to wrap up, is we have our fantasy football league. I almost forgot. So we're looking for new people. We've rotated around. We want to be fair to everybody. The only one who's guaranteed a spot is the champion. And I think that was Frank. Frank, I think, won. Not Frankie. There was a Frank. And I believe he won. So he is back in it if he wants it. So we'll be sending that out. So any of you guys who want to play fantasy football who's part of this Cowboys Cave family, DM Kelly, DM me on Twitter or whatever platform you guys know us on, and let us know you want in. If we get more than we need, we'll put names in a hat and be fair about it. But we'll probably have to do that draft sooner than later, Kelly. I think we're late to the party. I think I messed up.
Yeah, we'll have to get it going. And as long as we get it done in August, we got the whole month of August. We'll just have to make sure we don't procrastinate here. But I see something in the chat. And I just want to pull this up real quick before we get out of here, because I want to give a shout out here to our resident Eagle troll. We got Carl Smith right here with Dallas 6 wins. Now, nice. Carl's always in the chat, and I mean, basically he pounds the keyboard for an hour nonstop. Cowboys.
That's what I was talking about.
I mean, his fingers. I feel like that dude's got to get carpal tunnel with how much he types in this chat, because it's Carl Smith. So our resident Eagles troll / Dallas Cowboys closet fan. Listen,
these are honorary.
Dallas 6 wins this year. I'm going to call you out on that, Carl, and ask you to because a lot of times you're out here saying, bet me. I will absolutely bet you on that. I will.
Will he bet you the $200 that way you can save?
I will bet you $200, and we can do that right now with everybody here witnessing here in the cave. We can bet $200, Carl. If you think that the Cowboys will actually only win 6 games, I'll make a bet with you for $200. I'm a man of my word. Let's see, Carl, if you're
crickets.
I mean, are you? Where's your conviction at, Carl?
While he's doing that, I will want to give a plug. And I do cameos, as you guys know. I could do cameos for all the stuff I'm on there. I've done probably a couple hundred of them. But I am going to do I do cameos for fantasy football draft orders. Every dollar that I make off that goes towards the Cowboys Cave Tailgate Party. So we don't like taking money from people. We don't want you to give. We want to give in return. So obviously you have the paddles. But if you're a part of a fantasy football league, you can hire me on Cameo. All money will go towards the tailgate, and I will I will pick the order. And when I do it, it's like a 5-10 minute. I talk shit. It's well worth the money. And you guys can get that done there. But did he respond, Kelly?
Well, here, we got our answer right here. Because now we're from 6 wins to a bowl. So listen, let me tell you, Carl, you went from 6 wins to now it's the Super Bowl. So let me just tell you what you can do with all of your Dallas Cowboys opinions. You can take them up. You can take them opinions. You can take all your predictions. You can shine them some bitches up, turn them some bitches sideways, and shove them straight up your candy ass, Carl.
Hey, that's why I kept saying when you made that bet, I said crickets. Yeah, he ain't gonna make that bet. He knows better.
First of all, better odds. If you're gonna do that, I bet him on this. If a guy do it every year, it's just easy. It's just for a fun bet. Kelly, better odds on your sports bet app. But this is the problem with Carl. He's a typical Philly fan. Talk all that shit, and then when it comes time, put up or shut up. He sits there and he's like, changes
cricket
the rule.
With the Philly helmet on. Yeah. Cricket with the Philly helmet.
Hey,
Carl, I told you last
time. He's a coward.
I told him last time. I told you last time, Carl. I got a Dallas Cowboy jersey for you. Come on over to the blue, because I know that's what you want to do.
Oh, he's a closet fan. He's a closet.
There he is. But we love you, Carl. We love you for hanging out with us, though. We love you for hanging out with us.
We appreciate the interactions and the views and the clicks and all that.
Yeah. It always helps. So we approve it. You gotta have. It's like old school Howard Stern. The people that hated Howard watched more than the people that loved him. So the people that hate the Cowboys watch Cowboys content more than Cowboys fans do.
You hate us because you ain't us.
That's a crazy thing. So he had the opportunity to bet. He had an opportunity to bet, and he pussed out just like a typical Philly fan.
Yeah, so, well, that's no surprise. We kind of already. I saw that coming a mile away. I wanted to have it on tape that Carl is indeed, not a man of his conviction, but meow.
Philadelphia treason.
So, but anyway, guys. We had a great time hanging with you guys for an hour plus over an hour 20 minutes, man.
Hour 20.
Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. There's preseason football tomorrow. I am going to be at a concert, but you guys, preseason football, you guys going to check it out? Or I'm not a huge preseason guy.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm not either, but it's football.
Yeah, I'll probably have it on at least. I don't know how much of it I'll really watch, but I'll have it on for a little bit. When the Cowboys play preseason, I'll watch the Cowboys preseason.
Yeah. I might do a live show during the preseason. I did that. I think you did it with me, Kelly. Did you do it with me?
I think we did. I think we did a live. We watched the first preseason game.
First half or whatever like that. Yeah. it will be interesting. So may do something like that. But you guys, we appreciate all the love. Make sure if you're rolling out, hit that thumbs up. 317 people you guys right now still hanging with us. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like, move over to YouTube and do it if you're watching on X, Facebook, or Instagram, any of those other ones that we're on. But definitely appreciate all the love. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. The heat is on in Florida. I don't know how it is for you guys, but enjoy it because I'm not a fan of winter, even though we don't have it, but enjoy this time, man. We'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.